Okay, Asad, now coming to optional. That's one of the most important decision that an aspirant have to make during their preparation, right? So why did you choose sociology?
Sir, choosing sociology was rather survival for me because I'm a student from science background. I did BSc, and literally until I did BSc, I had no clue that even sociology as a subject exists. So when I got to read about UPSC syllabus, I found it really abstract as to what society is, what is caste. So I had that common sensical understanding of it. So I needed a subject which could make me understand my UPSC syllabus. So out of that survival, I chose sociology. I was confused between sociology and political science. But when I read about sociology, I saw, okay, I think that this subject is quite relevant to as to what my problems are. So I chose sociology and then I studied it. I studied it for 4.5 years from different books. I changed my resources a lot. And then ultimately, when the discussions used to happen with you, so that kind of my journey over like 3, 4 years helped me consolidate my content, which eventually reflected in my final score this year.
Okay, and now coming to sociology, many aspirant think that this is a very simple subject, syllabus is very concise and everything. So what was your actual experience when you started dealing with sociology, the syllabus?
Sir, actually, when we see sociology syllabus, it's like 25 odd chapters. But the thing is, the thing that sociology has a dearth of content as well, because you won't find all consolidated content at one place. And if you find one in some, for example, Nitin Sangwan sir's book, so that book becomes standardized, and all of the people are reading it. So ultimately, you will have to do something extra, something more philosophical or the theorized books to give that heft into your answers. So what I used to do is I read all the content from these books and then I worked upon as to how I could add one or two extra points to my answers. Whether it be from the toppers copies. I used to refer to the toppers copies a lot. And then from the answer discussions. And then I used to send my answers for as to how could I improve it further and the discussions with you and the feedback from you. So all of that helped me to create that one extra element in my answers. That was my main thing, apart from the regular content that is anyways available always.
Azad, you scored very well in sociology. The marks are really good. So, what made the difference? What do you think? How do you structure your answer writing? How you get that high scoring answers?
Sir, last year I scored 221 in optional, and this year my score is 269. So there is a hefty change of nearly 50 marks. So, but I think I did different this year was I applied the concepts a lot. This time I wrote really freely. I applied it as to when we also used to discuss. For example, there was a question asked in paper two regarding urbanization in India. The question was how urbanization is different in India. So I picked up a premise from our own discussion that in India, in India, the phenomena of urbanization is both under urbanization and over urbanization. Under urbanization, in the sense, that still many of our level of urbanization is only 31%. And over urbanization is that even with less urban population, our cities are able to support them. There are a lot of slums, no basic amenities present. So that kind of application I did, and through that, I somehow went out of the standardized answer structure that is there, that is really taught to us. So that way of application helped me to improve my marks significantly this year.
Okay. How should aspirants approach paper one and paper two in sociology?
The paper one, as said, classical sociology regarding the world sociology that we talk about. So paper one is relatively easy to understand, and we have a lot of content to read about it. Many coachings, many teachers teaching it. So once you have that clarity over the basic trends of research in sociology, especially the first three chapters and the thinkers part, if your thinkers are sorted, you will be able to apply all of the concepts in a good way as to whenever we're talking about like corporate sector, you would be able to apply alienation of marks. Whenever you are talking about the increasing crime rate, so you will be able to apply anomy of Imelda King. So if you understand the topic paper one better, you will be able to reflect that in paper two because paper two is nothing but sociology of India. and India is ultimately the society. So in that way, the way you are able to reflect the concepts of paper one into paper two with giving specialized examples from India and Indian sociology will help you gain good marks in paper two as well. For example, my marks, those are relatively equal, 134 in paper one and 135 in paper two. So this shows that comparability must be there.
Okay, so during your sociology preparation, you are also associated with us for the classes and the mentorship program, and you have written a lot of tests also. So tell the audience, how did that help you? How our mentorship and classes have actually helped you in your sociology preparation?
Last year when I gave my mains, so I was like pretty pretty much confident that I would get around 300. But ultimately that is not the case because you don't know what is the level of competition out there. So when the final marks came and I saw my marks, they were 221. So I was really lost. But then I got associated with you and Civil 360, and I got to know that what blunder I was doing is that whatever the question was being asked, I was just focusing on the keyword rather than understanding the nuances of the question. For example, if a question had the term marks and alienation, I was just writing the content, marks and its four strands of alienation. That's it. But ultimately, that is not the demand of the question. That's where the discussions and feedback from you came in. Because I got that ready style as to how could I reimagine my content and fix it in the way the question is being asked. So in that way, it helped me a lot. And moreover, the way you provided, for example, those brainstorming sessions that ultimately helped me.
But the jump from 220 last year to 270 this year, there is something big you might have done. What was that? Is it in terms of answer writing, or is it in terms of changing your approach in writing? So what is that big jump is all about?
Sir, again, that application part is the real hit this year. Last year, what I did was just theorizing the things. For example, if the theories of social change are asked, then I was just jotting down, okay, Parsons said this, Imal Durkheim's theory of social change was this. But ultimately, that is not going to fetch you mark because everyone is writing. Just copying the things from the books, that is not going to help. So this year, what I did is I applied onto the real world. For example, a question was asked regarding Marxian alienation. So I applied the Marxian concept of alienation into the post-COVID work culture, wherein the work from homes we are doing. So I applied it to that. Okay, how even from the work from home there is biometric surveillance, the number of times you are logging into the laptop. That is how like alienation has reached to its extreme levels. You have just become a cog in the wheel. So through that orientation was being provided to me by you as to how you could apply things. So that is the main thing that I was able to score this much this week.
Okay, now when the students see this term sociological perspective, you see in your paper also write a short note in sociological perspective or sociological analysis or sociological thinking. What exactly you mean by that? What is the difference between, you also mentioned in the beginning, commonsensical understanding of caste. So how this is different? For example, if you can take any example, poverty or caste or women empowerment, any topic, can you just explain how it is different in normal understanding and in sociology? What do you mean by the sociology perspective?
The sociological perspective. Sociological perspective is that even an individual action is also influenced by the social factor. So that is a sociological perspective that we think of. For example, when we think of the challenges that are being faced by women, that you will see that there are a number of stands that explain it sociologically and commonsensically. For example, there is this idea of patriarchy and how Sylvia Vardy talks about that in India or in the world, how patriarchy is transitioning from private to public patriarchy. And the things of like horizontal segregation, pink polarization of jobs. So this is called a sociological perspective. And secondly, if we talk about like gig economy, again, gig economy, we could explain it economically in terms of economics. But when we think of it as social from sociological perspective, we see it as reserve army of labor. That how the capitalist structure is keeping a whole bunch of people as a reserve to create pressure on on those who are already employed. So that kind of sociological perspective helps you get good marks.
Okay, Asad, now coming to one more important question. Asad, many students choose optional subject randomly, right? For example, toppers have chosen this optional, so they select that. So what should someone actually think about, seriously think about before they choose their optional, especially sociology?
Sir, when we talk about optional, there are nearly 500 marks. So there is a huge weightage in marks. So if we think about three parameters to choose an option, the first parameter is that classical mathematical calculation, that which optional is doing well. So there 8 to 10 optional subjects you would see that those generally have a good scoring. One parameter is that. And second parameter is there any overlap between the subject you are choosing and the general GS syllabus? For example, sociology, if you think it about, then in GS1 we have Indian society that we talk about. Then in GS2 we have governance and social justice part. Then in GS3 also in economics we have a certain aspect of society and social issues. Then in paper 4 ethics you could anyways add anything into ethics from sociology. So that kind of functional overlap always helps you. And the third part is whether you have content available. When we look at sociology, though the content is like segregated over many books, but if you give that effort and try to consolidate it at one place and try to memorize the thinkers, the dividend are quite high. So these three parameters will definitely help you, especially sociology if you want to take it.
So if someone is starting UPSC preparation today, what would be your top three pieces of advice?
The biggest advice is first you need to understand as to how questions are asked. In prelims, if a particular question is asked, you need to understand why that particular question was asked and why that particular aspect of that particular matter was asked. If you understand that, then I think majority of your work is done. Then secondly, you need to understand it means that not every answer could be given in a standard way. You need to mold your content again and again. You will, for example, I used to use my data, the data set that I had. I used one data set 4 times in my means, the same data set. So that ability to reproduce your limited knowledge will give you dividends. And third is be conversant about the newspapers because ultimately the topic that would be coming in prelims or mains would somehow will be linked to the current affairs. So these three pieces of advice I think will help the casting.
Now, for the students who's preparing with sociology as the optional, what would you tell them? Will you recommend our mentorship and classes to them?
Sir, I feel that a right mentor makes your road to the UPSC less bumpy. And especially with a mentor like you, I think that most of the difficulties would be sorted. Because many a times we know as to what the topic is all about, but we don't know how to structure that answer. So with right mentor, particularly you, I feel that the struggle for good structured answers would be sorted. And sociology is a great subject. You will be able to relate it with many of the syllabus points of UPSC. And if you have a good peer group, you could evaluate your answers. You have a right mentorship, and I think that you are going to score good in sociology. It's a great subject.
Thank you, Asad. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.